friends, there is a lot of information circulating everywhere, trying to convince everybody about different ways of living their lives, what it is supposed that we're supposed to eat, what is going to be good for us and what's not going to be good for us. Everybody seems to have a different truth, but there's only one truth. There's only one way to find out, and it's if you apply the scientific method. And of course, if you apply the scientific method in such a way that you're going to make an investigation so that you find the result that you previously wanted to find, then you're going to do nothing. It's not going to be any good for anybody. So you first of all, you have to be honest and say, I am going to try to find the truth about this, and I'm going to experiment with this or that, or apply a poll and try to find out what people really think about this or that, but I'm not going to ask the questions to make them respond what I want them to respond. I mean, if you want to push an investigation so as to get the results that you want to show the public, then you're not being honest. If you want to be honest, you have to be very careful in a way you're going to make your investigation. Now, there's only one way in which the truth, which is only one, there's not 2 or 3 truths, there's only one truth that can be found. The only way in which the truth can be found is through the usage of the scientific method of investigating things. If you don't use the scientific methods, forget it. You're never going to find the truth. You're just going to live with wishes and wish for everybody to wish what you wish. But the truth is going to flee from you. No matter how fast you want to reach that truth, it's going to go away from you. Is that what you want? I don't think so. I think we ought to be honest with ourselves. For example, if we like meat, chicken, fish, seafood, cheese, milk, if we like all those things, and we learn that scientifically it's been proven that animal protein is not too good for the human species, and for other species, of course, not only for the human species, but for other species too. But you like all those things I mentioned so much that you're going to try to find the way to prove that whoever says that we're not supposed to eat them is wrong. The only one who can be right is whoever finds what I want to be found. That is one very clear example of the way to find a truth that is not the truth, but it's the truth I want to be the truth. Now, if I decide, because of some scientific evidence, that I am going to become a plant eater, all I'm going to eat from here to the end of my life is plants. Plants in a healthy way. Plants, hygienically correct. And I know that because of certain needs that we have, like vitamin B12, which is not in any plant so far. Oh, well, here comes a question. Let's be honest. Why do we need something that doesn't come from the plant, and yet I dare to say that we are naturally plant eaters? Wow, there you got it. Well, there's an answer for that. B12 is a vitamin that comes from the defecation of small animals, our own defecation, and that of the other animals, any kind of animal. We generate vitamin B12, but we expel it from our organism. And then we have to eat something contaminated, at least slightly, with defecation, like we used to do during the first initial 150,000 years that we lived in this environment, which was perfect for plant eaters, and where the vitamin B12 was there. So, scientific evidence points in the direction that eating plant food is not only better for your health, but that's the way our organisms evolved to live and survive. Why do we eat meat? Because we needed to do that. There was a point in the evolution of these last 220,000 years, about 70,000 years ago, something terrible happened that destroyed the initial habitat in which we had everything we needed to be natural herbivores or plant eaters. Something happened terrible that destroyed our habitat. But it didn't destroy the brains of those who were capable of surviving. And their brains made decisions that we inherited. We inherited the decisions because decisions taken by the brains are things that can be passed from generation to generation immediately. You don't have to wait for the genes to start passing it on from generation to generation. So our genes are slow at passing messages, but our brains are immediate. We just do it, and the others imitate it, and then a lot of people started surviving by eating a mixture of plants and dead animals or products from animals, like milk and cheese. But that doesn't mean we evolved to eat those things. We're capable of eating them, and we don't die on the spot. But something happens with our organisms, as some scientific data prove, that become a problem. And humans develop illnesses for which insurance companies sell their insurance policies to protect you against those terrible illnesses that we don't know where they come from. But we know they are hereditary. You inherit them. They are in your DNA. Well, what they don't tell you is that whatever you have in your DNA is an illness that can only be triggered if you eat too much animal protein. Not everybody has to eat the same amount of animal protein in order to get sick. And the different illnesses that you're going to get depend on your DNA. But what triggers the development of the illness is when you eat animal protein combined with the DNA you have. You can study that anytime you want. So, if you want to be healthy and you want to help everybody else to be healthy, we need to quit eating anything that comes from the animal kingdom. Small or large animals, we don't need it. What are we going to do with all those animals we have created? There are, millions of them. Well, that's another problem. But the problem now is to understand what we need and what we don't need. Thank you. You've been very kind listening to me up to here.